Hello everyone, welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest updates across South Sudan and beyond. Today we have several important stories that are creating serious discussion across South Sudan. We'll talk about new military order involving SPLA forces, the government's strong message about election, and RJ Mac, and a shocking court case involving an Eritrean man who spent 12 years in prison before finally being released. Before we begin with these latest updates, if you are new to Changfied YouTube channel, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Our first top story is about SPLA acting commander order forces to stay calm. Tensions remain high in South Sudan after new military instructions were issued by the acting military leadership of the SPLA forces. According to report, Lieutenant General Kwang Gatkot Kerijok, who is currently acting as the SPLA Chief of General Staff, ordered all soldiers under his command to remain in their current position and avoid any fighting or confrontation with government soldiers from the SSPDF, South Sudan People Defense Force. This order came shortly after the South Sudan Chief of Defense Forces, General Santino Deng announced plan connected to military integration. Now many people are asking important question: is this a sign of peace, or is the country entering another period of uncertainty? According to the directive issued on May 12, Lieutenant General Kwang told commander to make sure their troops do not move without permission. He warned soldiers not to cross into areas controlled by government forces. He also instructed commander to avoid any action that could increase tension between the two sides. The message was clear: stay where you are, do not attack, do not move without order. Many observers believe this order was made to prevent accidental clashes between forces during this sensitive political period. As many of you already know, South Sudan has struggled for many years with army conflict between rival political and military groups. Even after the peace agreement was signed in 2018, the process of unifying force into one national army has moved very slowly. That process is still incomplete today. The latest development started after General Santino Deng the Chief of Defense Forces, instructed former opposition forces that joined the government to remain ready for possible reorganization and integration into the national army structure. The order reportedly affected several army groups from different parts of the country. This includes force linked to Lieutenant General Johnson Ulun in Malakal, Lone Wolf Commander, and other group operating in Bargazal, Unity State, and Equatoria. South Sudan government said integration is necessary for peace and national stability, but many citizens are worried because similar promises have been made before without full implementation. Some people fear that confusion inside military structures could create mistrust again between former rivals. Others believe this could finally become a real opportunity for peace, if handled carefully. President Salva Kiir Mayardit recently brought back General Santino Deng as Chief of Defense Forces during military reshuffle. The reshuffle was described by government officials as part of effort to improve national security and strengthen its stability in the country. However, critics say South Sudan still faces many unresolved challenges. These include delays in security reform, economic hardship, and political disagreement ahead of the planned election. Now, many citizens are closely watching what will happen next. Will military integration finally move forward peacefully, or will political tension continue to slow down the peace process? That is the big question many South Sudanese are asking today. Let us now take a deeper look at why this issue matters. The peace agreement in 2018 was supposed to end a year of conflict in South Sudan. One of the most important parts of that agreement was the creation of one unified national army. The idea was simple. Former enemies would stop fighting each other and work together under one national command. But this process has faced many delays. Some soldiers have waited years inside training center without enough food, salaries, uniform, or equipment. Others return to their areas frustrated. Because of this delay, mistrust between different groups has continued. This is why every military announcement now creates major attention across the country. People fear instability could return if misunderstanding happen between forces. At the same time, many South Sudanese are tired of war. Citizens want peace. They want development. They want roads, school, hospital, and jobs. So many people are hoping leader will focus or will avoid conflict and continue dialogue instead. The coming week may become very important for South Sudan's future security situation. Well, before we continue to the next story, tell us your opinion in the comment section. Do you think military integration will finally succeed this time? Or do you think political disagreement will continue causing delay? Let us know your thought below. And please do not forget to like and share this video. Now let us move to our second major story. Government say it is ready to move forward without RJMAC. Reconstituted joint monitoring evaluation. Another major political debate is growing inside South Sudan after a statement from the Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Dr. Martin Elia Lumoro. Speaking recently, Dr. Martin Elia said the government is prepared to move forward with the election process even without the involvement of RJMAC, which is so confusing. For those who may not know, RJMAC stands for the Reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission. This body was created to monitor the implementation of the peace agreement in South Sudan. Its role is to help ensure that all parties follow the agreement properly, including the government. But now, the South Sudan government under President Salva Kiir Mayardit said RJMAC has slowed down progress instead of helping. According to Dr. Martin Elia, President Salva Kiir Mayardit has already directed political parties to continue dialogue and prepare for election plan for December 2026. The minister said the government won't move forward without unnecessary delay. Dr. Elia Lumoro also made very strong remark during his speech. He said the government is ready to defend its decision against anyone who question it. According to him, South Sudan has the sovereign right to decide what is best for the country. These comments are now creating serious discussion among politicians, analysts, and ordinary citizens. Some people support the government position, others strongly disagree. Supporters argue that South Sudan has already spent too many years in transition. They say election must happen so citizens can finally choose leader democratically. They also argue that delay in implementing the peace agreement should not stop the entire country from moving forward. However, critics fear that bypassing RJMAC could weaken accountability and damage trust among peace partners. Some opposition voices believe important part of the peace agreement are being changed too quickly. At the center of this debate are proposed amendment to the peace agreement and the transitional constitution. Lawmakers are currently discussing controversial changes that could affect how elections are conducted in South Sudan. One major proposal would remove conditions requiring a permanent constitution and a national census before election happen. Another proposal would allow election to use old constituency boundaries from 2010. Supporters say these changes are practical because there is not enough time remaining before election. Critics said rushing the process may create future problems. Another proposed change would reduce the size of parliament to 204 elected seats. The lawmakers are also considering shortening the period for publishing the voter register before election. All these discussions are happening while political tension remains high across the country. Many citizens are now wondering whether South Sudan is truly ready for election. Some people are excited, others are worried. Let us pause and think carefully about this situation. Elections are very important in every democracy. They allow citizens to choose leader peacefully through voting in a state of conflict. However, successful election also require preparation. There must be security. There must be trust in institutions. Citizens must feel safe participating. Political parties must believe the process is fair. This is why some observers say rushing election without solving key issues could create more tension. Others argue that delaying election again may increase frustration among citizens who already feel the transition period has lasted too long. This debate is now becoming one of the biggest political questions in South Sudan today. Will election bring stability, or could disagreement about the process create new political problem? Only time will tell. Well, tell us in the comment section, do you support election going forward in 2026, or do you think more preparation is needed first? We would like to hear your view. Now let us move to our third and final story. Riot group raised concern after translator helped convict man in murder case. A shocking legal case in South Sudan is now creating major debate about justice, fairness, and the role of interpreter in court. The case involved an Eritrean man named Yohana Gabriel Michael. Yohana spent 12 years on death row after being convicted for murdering his wife in 2014. But now, after many years behind bar, the Court of Appeal has overturned the original murder conviction and ordered his release. Riot groups say serious mistakes happened during the investigation and trial. According to the Justice and the Human Rights Observatory, the man accused of having an affair with Yohana's wife was allowed to serve as a translator during police investigation and court proceeding. This revelation shocked many people. Human rights activists say this was a major conflict of interest. They argue that a person connected to the case should never have been allowed to interpret the statement during such an important criminal investigation. Godfrey Victor Bola, Executive Director of the Justice and Human Rights Observatory, strongly criticized the process. And he said the justice system failed Yohana. According to Bola, Yuana discovered his wife in an adulterous relationship several times inside their home. Eventually, a violent confrontation happened, leading to the woman's death. But during investigation, the same man allegedly involved in the affair reportedly became the interpreter in both police and court sessions. Right activists believe this deeply affected the fairness of the trial. They argue that Yuana's statement may not have been translated properly. They also say the court failed to seriously consider the issue of severe provocation. Under criminal law, provocation can sometimes reduce a murder charges to manslaughter if a person loses self-control during extreme emotional circumstances. The Court of Appeal later agreed to reduce the charge from murder to manslaughter. The judges ordered Yuana immediate release after spending more than a decade in prison. Imagine entering prison at age 29 and leaving at age 41. That is exactly what happened to Yuana. After his release, he expressed relief and thanks the government of South Sudan and everyone who supported him. This case is now raising many important questions about South Sudan justice system. How are investigations conducted? Are interpreters properly vetted? Do accused people always receive fair trial? These are serious concerns. Well, a human rights group are now calling for reform to improve fairness inside the legal system. Some activists say this case shows the need for better legal protection, especially in cases involving the death penalty. This story is emotional and complicated. On one side, a woman lost her life. On the other side, questions are being raised about whether the accused man received a fair trial. The case reminds many people that justice system must remain independent and transparent. When mistakes happen inside investigation or court, innocent people may suffer. That is why fair procedures are extremely important. The debate is now spreading among lawyers, activists, and ordinary citizens across South Sudan. Some people believe the appeal court made the correct decision. Others still have mixed feelings about the case. But one thing is clear. This story has opened a larger conversation about justice, accountability, and human rights in the country. So if you are new here to Changfied YouTube channel, I would like you please to help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Thank you for watching. Let's meet on the next video.